We are living longer as a society, and as we age, a lot of people are transitioning into a retirement community or into an assisted living center. We've seen multiple reports recently in the media about these retirement centers and these assisted living centers, which may have skilled nursing people there also, or a memory center. We're seeing a lot of things happen where there's fires or there's some type of tragic event that occurs there. And what role does the management and security and nursing staff play in safeguarding those who cannot take care of themselves sometimes? We're going to talk about that today. Retirement communities and assisted living center safety. You're watching the SAFESECURE 360 podcast. There's safety in numbers.
Lieutenant Robert Henry is an honorably retired law enforcement commander from Houston with over 35 years of public service experience. I'm Daniel Ziegler. I've been asking questions all my life, and on this show, I do my best to ask the questions that the public would like to know the answer to. The SAFESECURE 360 podcast is intended to provide you, the listener, with information about current events and ongoing societal challenges to help make your life safer. Thank you for listening. This is the SAFESECURE 360 podcast. There's safety in numbers. Well, Robert, thanks for sitting down with us and talking with us today. Recently, July 13th on a Sunday in Fall River, Massachusetts, an assisted living center had a fire that ended up killing 9 people and taking 30 people to the hospital for smoke inhalation, burns, lots of injuries. How did this get so, what is it about assisted living centers and nursing homes that make them so susceptible to big damage when something like a fire breaks out?
Several factors exist that heighten risk. Number one is the ratio of patients or residents to staff. You may have 50 or 100 residents there in a medium to large facility. You may have on the night shift 10 nursing staff or other people that work there, or it may be a similar ratio, perhaps more in the daytime and perhaps more during the evening shifts. So you may have more people there. But a lot of times we see these fire events happen at night. So start off with an imbalance in ratio of caregivers to residents or patients. The second thing is the non-ambulatory status of these patients or residents, or the mental aspects of Alzheimer's, dementia-related cognitive deficits, which may be occurring as well. Also, you may have some patients or residents who are just unable to walk on their own, or maybe not wake up if they hear a sound, or if a normal functioning brain would wake you up and they don't wake up. So there's a delay in gathering them. There's a delay in transporting them. There's a delay in bringing life-sustaining equipment if they have oxygen needs or if they have other things that need to go with them. So it's a big deal. A lot of times in these retirement centers and nursing homes, the fire doesn't get you, it's the smoke. They already perhaps have a suppressed or limited immune system, suppressed or limited lung capacity. They may have breathing problems or oxygen needs. Oxygen is very flammable. So if, in fact, there are unanticipated flames or some type of an explosion or some type of something that goes wrong and your oxygen system is impacted, you could have a pretty big fire hazard on your hands. So the ratio of caregivers to patients, important. Ambulatory mental issues from dementia and Alzheimer's-related cognitive things could also be a big factor. And then the movement of people. Where are you taking them? To the parking lot? If they require oxygen or if they require some other type of therapy that's going on, how do you get that done? And who do you call for reinforcements to come and help you with that? Sure, first responders are coming to address the fire, to address the smoke, to address an intruder which may come, or to address a medical need that may occur. But again, if you have a large number and a small number of staff servicing them, it's out of balance.
So knowing all of that and hearing that, how do residential centers prepare for keeping their people safe? What are good steps they should take to help prepare for something? A fire, you can't say that any building may not be affected by fire. Fire can happen, especially like you said with oxygen. So how do they prepare for things in advance?
Policy driven is what I always talk about. Policy. What is your policy about this? Do you have an adequate ability to monitor all of the rooms where these patients or residents are? Do you make rounds where you actually go in and look in that room and make sure the patient's okay or the patient's asleep and there's nothing going wrong? Do you have a security staff that's monitoring who comes in and who leaves? Sometimes these residential centers have people who wander away and they'll leave. They can become very creative in the way that they're able to do that, and they'll leave, and that exposes them to extreme risks sometimes. The elements being lost, or sometimes they drown if there's a water source around. So it's very important to have a really good policy about all these different things, to have real conscientious awareness of your residents and what their needs are, and have a plan that if you have to evacuate or close down part of your facility, what will you do? Who will do it? How long will it take? And are there effective and predictable outcomes? You won't know any of this until you have a really good policy and until you train your staff and perhaps even simulate or drill this to be able to know how you would react. SAFESECURE 360. We are a security consulting group located in the Woodlands, Texas. We assist our multiple clients by reducing their risk, loss, and reputation impact. We also do full security assessments on their facilities, large churches, large private schools in Texas, and we want to help you. Take a look at our website, safesecure360.com.
It occurs to me as we're talking right now, schools have unplanned. We develop policy and help with training and drills at schools quite often, and sometimes the teachers won't know we're coming on the day we're coming. They have unplanned fire drills or unplanned intruder drills, things like that. Is it a good idea for residential centers to take that heightened view of training their staff so that when you have the nighttime and there's less people there, that they actually have some experience knowing what to do? Does that make sense in this context as well?
I'll compare the two. Okay, so children, let's just say kindergarten age children through the 12th grade, are typically more dynamic in the way they would respond or they would act if you're encouraging them all to leave or come here. They would follow instructions typically. They're in that mindset. They're able to process the information. They're able to assess risk. They're able to follow instructions very well, typically. All right. So a retirement community, a nursing home, things like that, there's going to be less than that active reaction of compliance and speed. Add in there supplemental things that this person may need to sustain their life, and you have two different dynamics. So I think that the plan to mobilize and move and treat the elderly is going to be more intense and more valuable that you are prepared than you would be for a school. So there's no value really in surprising the residents of a nursing home with this drill. It can just be done. And I think that there's value in doing it.
So along preparations, how do the administration and management of a assisted living center, how do they think of everything when they're writing their policy to get to get a plan for each incident that comes?
You have certain incidents that are globally effective and globally address a smoke event. It doesn't matter if you're mobile and active and in a retirement community or whether you're bedridden. You have to go, all right? So there's no real definition about which one would we do this or that with. So I think that it's important to have policy that is driven by your residents' abilities and inabilities or disabilities, perhaps. So if we had skilled nursing in this wing and there were 10 patients that were in there, that patient chart, in my opinion, should have a clear red dot or yellow dot or something that lets the staff know that of these 10 patients, 5 of them, by the red dots, are immobile. They need assistance. They need help moving around. A yellow dot may mean they have supplemental oxygen. So not only when you move them, you've also got to move the oxygen with them. So it's extra. And then I think having the staff review all of the needs that are standard and all of the needs that are specific to these residents will go a long way in how and who you address first when you're evacuating or when you're sheltering, because they're going to take more time. And their situation and their life may be more fragile and need more attention.
Well, thank you all for watching and listening. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to our channel and click the like button on this episode. This will keep you up to date with what we're up to, and it will help our channel grow and reach new people. Like we always say, there is safety in numbers. Our security firm is hired to write, review, and develop policy for all kinds of places, schools, assisted living centers being one as well. We also offer uniform security to some of these places. Can you walk us through what's the benefit of having a uniformed security officer on the campus of the assisted living center, as well as having good policy? How does that help?
It's a great idea. Everyone is using private security. You're going to see it more and more and more as we continue to see these destabilized reports that happen all over the country about, did you see what happened here or do you see what happened there? Private security, if they're trained, oriented, focused, is a great asset to partner with, because they are your eyes and ears, and they are mobile around your facility doing patrols. They're monitoring entrances, exits. They're looking for people that may wander. They're looking for intruders which may come there. They're looking for residents, if they're inside, who in a common area may fall or slip, be able to alert someone that medical attention is needed for any event. And they're also very valuable in deterring crime events which may come there, where someone may prey on these folks. So private security, especially at night, with a reduced staff, is a very valuable asset to have, for sure, and we do that.
It definitely is. And so what we've talked about so far is that you say this in other instances, but there's a competitive time agenda between a fire and the first responders coming. And really the first responders are the staff and faculty of the assisted living center where a fire breaks out. There's a time that the fire is going to keep getting bigger, and there's the amount of time it takes to get the people out. And so I hear you saying the more prepared you are, the more time you might have, because you can, like you said earlier, you can look at the 3 red dots and go, those take the longest, let's start there. And then let's move everybody this direction. And now we have a plan going, and that helps everybody go. What other kinds of thoughts and ideas for policy, what else should assisted living centers and retirement homes be thinking about as they're developing their security plan and helping their residents stay safe?
I think one that really isn't really talked about is what if a family member does not like the outcomes or the care that's being given to their family member who is a resident or patient there, Or what if a patient, the family member feels like they're suffering and they decide that they want to come there and end their life? And this has happened many times. In Texas, when you apply as a concealed handgun license to carry permittee, one of the things in the class, and I teach this class, one of the things that we talk about is you are unauthorized to carry a handgun into a nursing facility or facility designed for that type of care, like a hospital even. They're statutorily prohibited places because of the emotionally charged environment that you're entering. I know that when I served in law enforcement, we had a case one time where a family member came to a retirement center, and his mother was a memory patient, Alzheimer's, dementia, and expressed to him that she wanted to no longer be here, and he ultimately agreed with her, and he came there with a pistol, and he shot her and killed her, and then set the pistol down and called 911. So I think that it's very important that your staff at least consider that something could happen like that from the outside. And what would they do? What would their job be? What would their role be if there was a weapon introduced into the facility, if there was a weapon that's used in some type of tragic event like that? How would they shelter in place or run, hide, fight? And people that can't run, hide, fight, how would they as caregivers help them? So we talk about that, we teach that, we plan that, and I think it's valuable to know.
It certainly is. In order to write a really solid policy, you have to really consider a lot of options going on, and not everybody that works everywhere is a security expert. However, we are, and we are happy to help you write your policy. We're happy to help develop it, review it. We'll come do a site assessment and try to help you think of some options you haven't need in the intent of giving you more time when you need it in emergent situations. So if we can help you or your retirement community or your family or your company, if we can help you with your policy development or review or talk about uniform security and how that would help you, please reach out to us. Our website is SAFESECURE360.com. Like we always say every week, there is safety in numbers. So if you're looking and thinking about this already and this is coming across your internet feed, go ahead and reach out to us. Just let us know you have a question and we're happy to write back to you. Thank you so much for watching and listening and sharing this time with us. This is the Safe Secure 360 podcast. There's safety in numbers. This is the Safe Secure 360 podcast. The information provided in our podcasts is for general information uses only and is not intended as legal advice. The views and opinions expressed by the guests are their own. Always consult with a qualified professional before making safety and security decisions. For more information about this topic, check out our website at SAFESECURE360.com.